Right then, this is a quick walk around video and for a truly exceptional car in every way. This is a Lexus GS 450 SE model. It's a 2009 car, but it's just covered 55,000 miles. It had 2 owners from new, and it's been serviced 12 times each and every time by the Lexus main dealers. So in terms of history and ownership, it's absolutely impeccable. And the condition is quite extraordinary. It really is a one-off, I truly believe. Given the fact that we're looking at a car that's now 12 years old, it is amazing. Still incredibly fresh to look at, I have to say. It's aged absolutely beautifully. Front of the car, lights and lenses are completely clear, intact without any cracks or condensation. Bonnet is exceptionally clean. There's obviously the odd tiny little stone chip here or there. I mean I'm talking minuscule stuff, but it really is amazingly clean. Coming down the flanks on the near side first, passenger side, absolutely indentation free. Around back on this angle here again, it's just such a handsome car. So I really believe this one's aged so much better than other cars in its class. Around the back, bumper very clean and tidy. Around to the offside of the vehicle, driver's side, again completely free of any indentations. Excuse the car in the background. And final alloy, absolutely lovely as well. I mean, it really is beautiful. The only mark, and I want to show it because it's literally the only thing I can see externally, and it's trivial, tiniest little mark there, which has been obviously touched in. That's it. That's it. I'm not doing anything about it because it's got to have something that shows the age of the car. But that is an extraordinary vehicle. Coming to the boot area, as you'd expect of a Lexus, absolutely beautifully finished. Just coming to the back of the car now, full black leather interior on the vehicle and in simply gorgeous condition. Just coming to the front now, on the passenger side, door cards again just look absolutely as new. There are a full set of original Lexus mats fitted to the car, of course, and passenger seat there on the front, given minimal use. Finally, come to the driver's door card, again absolutely immaculately clean. Footwell areas again really nice and tidy. The driver's seat itself, after 12 years, even with low mileage, you'd expect it to show somewhere, and it shows virtually nothing at all. So inside the car now, engine's running through the section as always, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. It looks pretty much brand new in here. It's so quiet. I've got the fan on its lowest setting, and that's the noisiest thing you can hear in here. But it is in beautiful condition, as I said. Sat nav, you can see, working perfectly. Pop the car into reverse. That lovely clear gridded parking camera. You've also got the rear blind and the rear window, which goes up and down as you select drive or reverse as well. Mark Levinson stereo. It's beautiful wood finish. And then again, gorgeously detailed dash binnacle there with 55,024 miles, and obviously no warning lights on the car at all. It's a car that has to be seen in the flesh, in all honesty. It's just so special, this car. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Lexus GS 450 hybrid, and it's the SE model. Car's registered AV09NBG, and with a mileage of just 55,017 recorded. The reason we do all of our videos, this one included, is essentially so that if anyone's online looking at our cars, they actually get to see the cars we're advertising in operation. and we feel it's very, very important. We've been to see too many cars over the years which have looked perfectly good, and you drive them and find out they've got issues which manifest themselves as soon as you drive the car. So that's why we do it. We also do it on these quiet country roads very close to our premises, and this actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on. So we hope it will then be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car itself, an extraordinary car in every single way. Wonderful ownership and history, with all of its servicing done by the Lexus main dealers. 10 or 12 services from memory, I can't remember now. Just beautifully looked after, and feels it straight away. I might as well be upfront straight away because I'm massively biased. I love these cars. I've owned a couple of these hybrids before, a few years ago now. They are exceptional vehicles, but I will still go through the bits one by one as I always do in my videos, so there won't be opinion, there'll be fact. Starting with the power unit, it's a hybrid system, obviously self-charging as Lexus like to call it now. So basically they're just trying to tell you just drive it as a normal petrol car. There's no plugging in, there's no charging up required. You just put fuel in the car and drive and own it as a normal petrol car. When you back off or hit the brakes, obviously it puts power back into the hybrid battery, so it can never run out in that way. It's an extraordinary car to drive. It is so quiet and so smooth in its power delivery. Genuinely, if you drive a competitor's car of this vintage, which will generally be sort of big turbo diesels, conventional gearboxes, they can feel quite clunky when you jump out of this. It can, especially at low speeds, manoeuvring around. Whereas this kind of whirs away on electric only. They'll be sort of rumbling away because diesels tend to be noisiest at their idle. I've yet to drive many cars, aside from pure electric, that are as smooth in just little manoeuvres like this, just pulling away. There's no sort of shuddering, there's no feeling of sort of sudden lurchy gear changes. It is as serene as it's possible to be, and it's got a ton of power. I mean, it's a quick car. Throttle response is pretty much instant. It's a wonderful car to drive. There are no warning lights, of course, on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at just under half, which is exactly where it's meant to be on one of these cars, but cannot fault the power unit side of it in any way, shape or form, or the gearbox, because all working absolutely perfectly. Steering of the car, really nicely done on these cars. It's not over light, which is what I really hate on cars. It's precise, it's reasonably accurate in terms of the way it's doing it, because it's not a sporty car. It's not meant to be. It's got a lovely fluid action as you go through corners that you sort of guide the car through. If you want something overt, more sporty, you tend to go for sort of BMW type cars. And that's not to say this isn't capable of going through corners. It is. It just wafts through them. But it's not enjoyable in the sense of thundering around to get from A to B as fast as you can. This is a car to sit back, relax, and enjoy driving, because it's a one of the most comfortable cars you'll ever sit in. The steering helps with that, because all the inputs, as I say, have got kind of an oily, quality feel to the way it goes about it. The chassis is superb. I deliberately got this section of road when I can to try and talk about the chassis, because it's a horrible surface. It's like the surface of the moon, sort of craters, and yet this rides it so well. I'm also listening out for any kind of clonks or rattles that shouldn't be there, and there are, of course, none at all. But the ride is beautifully judged. It's not like the LS where it literally is like just wafting along, but then when you get to the corners, of course, it feels much more like a big oil tanker to manoeuvre. This is as comfortable as anyone could expect or hope a car to be, but still gives you that the ability to sort of go through corners with some sort of body control. It really is. I mean, it's a sort of repeated theme. I mean, there's very few cars that I've driven in my time that are as comfortable as this to use day in, day out, short trips or even the longest sort of transcontinental ones. And just so quiet, you know. I get up to 60 there, and it's tiny rumble from the tyres, virtually no wind noise. It's absolutely amazing. Steering, by the way, track's absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at all coming back through the steering wheel at this speed or any speed up to the legal limits on the motorway. Brakes are just going to give them a bit of a shove. I know they're good, but basically you touch them, really powerful, nicely modulated. They've got no pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all, so all in fine order indeed. Finally coming inside the car, you know, if you want to know the definition of build quality and craftsmanship, this pretty much sums it up. It is just unbelievably well built and in just gorgeous condition in here. It could be, you know, virtually off the production line. It's been just loved by someone, and what a wonderful place to sit. Not only are you sitting here in virtual silence, but you're sitting here with this wonderful dashboard, which is just easy to use. It's not one of these horrible modern things where you've got a tablet there and you've got a mouse down here and you spend most of your time looking down rather than on the road, just to do basic changes, you know, turning radios on, changing channels, you know, just obvious stuff. It's just there, it's easy to use. Lovely to see. You got, you know, the Mark Levinson stereo system, by the way, is astonishing, helped by the fact that the car's so quiet. So if you like your music, you'll love this. But you've got a tape deck, you've got CDs. I'm sure if you plug it in, it'll play it through the system as well. But just joyful in its simplicity. But, you know, laden with equipment, don't get me wrong. And all working perfectly. You can see sat nav, heated seats, air conditioning pumps out lovely cold air, because we tried that in a nice warm workshop earlier. Then you've got a really simple but beautifully detailed dash display in front with you know, your power meter, speed, and just your normal gauges for fuel and temperature. But it's just how they've displayed it, it's just the highest quality. Steering wheel, which looks absolutely brand new and feels like it's a hold. Again, just devoid. It's got buttons there, obviously. It's minimalist. You know, radio. You got hands-free, cruise control, and that's it. There's nothing else to distract you from driving. It really is. As I said, you know, I readily admit I'm biased. I love these. I completely understand them. You know, but if you're looking for, or anyone's looking for, a really high quality, and it is a genuine luxury car, it's, you know, it is an amazing car to own. And as I say that from experience, I have to say, and I've done this before, and I'm a nightmare for doing it. I occasionally jump in cars, and I did it on my last 450 when I did the video, and suddenly got an urge to buy it and have it for myself. And if I can do a couple of things over the next couple of days, that's exactly what I'm going to do with this, because I absolutely love being back in it. I've had a couple of 450s, the RXs, which are great for the family, sort of, you know, taking them all, they'd be banished from coming in here, it's too nice. And of course it drives as good as SUVs are. They don't drive like this. I mean, this is a world apart. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car, because I can find nothing wrong with it at all, it drives absolutely as new, don't hesitate to give us a call.